Hi, Daniel. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I know our last session I asked you to do some homework. I asked you to write down some negative thoughts that you were having. So I see you did that. All right. So let's go over these negative thoughts.
Okay.
Your first one that you have, you're saying, it says, I'm a failure.
Yeah.
So what are you a failure of?
That's kind of a general statement, I guess. Just here lately, school started back in the last couple months, and I'm not doing as good as I should in school, and I don't know, just here lately I haven't felt like I'm reaching my potential as far as what I should be doing in a lot of different aspects of my life.
Mm-hmm. Now, whenever you wrote down, I'm a failure, was there a particular time that you were thinking that, or were you just brainstorming on how you felt?
Well, we kind of got some grade reports at school, and I had made a C. I had never made a C before. I've never been an all-A student, but I'm A/B. You know, I make pretty good grades. So I don't know. That was kind of a pretty big shock to me because my classes really aren't hard this year. I'm a senior. I kind of took an easy schedule, and I guess I'm just not applying myself or something. So that in particular, I guess, kind of prompted me to feel like a failure when I was writing that down.
Okay, so you got a C for the first time. Does that really make you a failure?
I don't know. I just feel like there's these expectations of me, I guess, put on from myself and my parents and other people in my life to make all A's or at least all A's and B's, and anything less than that I feel like is a failure. So I don't know. I mean, I guess technically no, but to me that's the way it makes me feel. You know, I feel like a complete failure because I made a C.
So do you think that it is fair to say that you might be catastrophizing that a little bit, blowing it out of proportion? Because a C is passing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's probably over-exaggerated, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't know if I'm really blowing it out of proportion, because I've never kind of stooped to that level. You know what I mean? This is kind of like uncharted territory for me, making a C. So to me, that's a failure, which I know there's a lot of people that I know that make C's all the time and make less than that, but that's not me.
Right.
And that's never been who I am, you know.
Okay. Now, I know during our last session, we had kind of talked a little bit about this, and I had asked you to write down your negative thoughts, but I was explaining cognitive therapy to you.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do in cognitive therapy, I am going to look at these thoughts with you.
Okay.
And this is what we call automatic thoughts, automatic negative thoughts.
Okay.
And these are the result of what we call cognitive distortions.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm going to do is have you look at this list of cognitive distortions and tell me if you can pick out one or two of them that may apply in this situation.
Okay. I'd say the first two would probably, qualify as far as all or nothing. Either, I'm either make A and B's and everything's great, or make a C and failure.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's pretty black and white, like it says.
Right.
And then, like you said, I guess catastrophizing, making a C, I probably am doing that. It's not the end of the world, nothing terribly bad's happened or anything, but so I guess those two definitely kind of ring a bell.
So what would you think about, let's see, your other statements are that you'll never be as good as your brother, and life sucks.
Yeah.
does life really suck? Everything about life?
Not really, I don't guess, but it feels like it does sometimes.
Mhm.
And that does definitely tie in with, not living up to my brother's standards or the way he did things. So, I don't know, when I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I feel like life does suck. And there's really, no hope for me to accomplish the things I'm supposed to accomplish.
Well, would you mind doing a little exercise with me?
Sure.
Okay. What we're going to do, I'm going to use this piece of paper, and we're going to make 2 columns.
Okay.
And on the first column, we're going to write down your negative thoughts. These are your automatic thoughts.
Okay.
So negative thoughts. And then in the next column, we're going to put what the cognitive distortion is.
Okay.
And after that, we're going to put a positive thought. So, for example, life sucks. What could you say instead of life sucks? Look at your life. Does your entire life suck? Everything about it?
No, I mean, not everything about it. I have a family that cares about me. I have a car. I guess I'm afforded a lot of nice things that maybe a lot of people don't get to have. So, as far as that's concerned, all my basic needs are met.
So, the big problem is your C. That's your issue that really is kind of pushing you over the edge. So maybe instead of saying that your entire life sucks, how about something along the lines of, I got a C this semester, but I can bring my grades up next semester.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the positive thought. And what I'm going to have you do, because I'm going to give you some more homework, and I want you to just write down your negative thoughts that you're having.
Okay.
And then I want you to write down a positive thought to combat that.
Okay.
And whenever you come back in, we'll go over what kind of cognitive distortions you are having. So, for right now, I'm going to ask you, what do you see when you look into the future? What do you see about your life after high school? How do you think this C will affect you?
I mean, to be honest, this C probably isn't really going to affect me that much. It's not like I was going to be valedictorian or anything. So, and as far as in the future after high school, I don't think this C will affect me. But just overall, my future, it's really just uncertain. I definitely don't feel like I'm going to live up to my brother's standards. He was a 4.0 student, starting quarterback on the football team for 3 years. He's gone off to college and doing good. So I don't know. I kind of get discouraged that I'm never going to live up to his standards, and that's probably the most discouraging thing about the future.
Right. Now, how might you feeling like you're never going to live up to your brother's expectations, how might they stop you from achieving, from not being a failure? If you're constantly thinking your brother is better than you, how will that affect your life? How will that affect your motivation?
I don't know, I guess it kind of goes back to that all or nothing thinking, that either, I have to be just as good as him, or that everything has to be perfect, or that I'm just a failure, and that, nothing matters because I'm never going to be as good as he was,
Right.
So, I guess that's kind of what discourages me, and that's what keeps me from maybe doing as good as I could.
Mm-hmm. So, because your brother is such a high achiever, and you look at yourself and you're not a perfect student, you don't have all A's.
Yeah.
But that's also causing you to maybe slip a little in your studying. I know know that you were saying last time that since you got the C, you feel like it's really not even worth it to keep trying because you've already messed it up with the C, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the way I feel. I
Right.
really don't know why, but I kind of just feel like everything's pointless.
So do you think a more positive thought might be looking at yourself and doing the best that you can do? Is it a little bit of a stretch to say that you have to do as well as your brother?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely a stretch, and I know realistically that's not the case. So, I guess just setting my own goals and objectives in the future would be a good way to kind of separate myself from trying to do the same things he did, be just as good as he was.
Right. So, along with your homework, what the ultimate goal is for you to look at this rationally
Okay.
and not have these negative thoughts, these irrational negative thoughts. So whenever you get yourself to, you notice that you're thinking a negative thought, say that you're filling out a college application and you say, you know, I'm never as good as my brother, or if I don't get into this college, then I'm a failure, or whatever.
Mhm.
I want you to see if you can stop yourself on that thought and kind of replay that thought in your head and then replace it with a positive one.
Mhm.
And that's what we call thought stopping. You need to stop the negative thought and realize that this is a negative thought. This is irrational.
Mhm.
You know, because if you don't get into the college, you'll get into another one.
Yeah, I
Even
think
if
I can do that because, I mean, I always really process those negative thoughts and kind of toss them around in my brain for a while, so I don't think it would be hard to stop myself and replace that with something more positive.
Right. And another thing that you can do is whenever you start realizing that you're thinking these negative thoughts, to do some kind of, in a sense, meditation exercise. It doesn't have to be a full-blown meditation, but just to step back and kind of relax yourself
Mhm.
and get yourself to start clearing your head to
Okay.
get rid of this negative thought before
Okay.
you go back to whatever it was that you were doing. So, let's see here. So we have your homework for next time.
Okay, I got that.
All right. So, could you explain to me what your homework is going to be? I want to make sure that you understood it.
I'm going to continue to log my negative thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
and in another column, combat that negative thought with a positive thought.
Mm-hmm.
Right on down the list. And then in addition to that, just mentally kind of stop myself when I have a negative thought, or something, whatever negative comes up in my mind about my future, whatever, stop that and try to change that into something more positive and something more productive as far as goal setting and things like that.
Right.
And we're going to see what cognitive distortion match up to those next time.
Right. And whenever you're doing this homework, it'll give you the chance to do the thought stopping because you're writing down your negative
Mhm.
thoughts, so you
Yeah.
can stop it right there.
Yeah.
And ultimately, once you go on, and I'm not going to be giving you homework anymore, ultimately you'll be able to either not think these negative thoughts or to catch yourself
Mhm.
while you're thinking them
Mhm.
and just be able to automatically replace it with a positive thought.
Okay.
So do you think that you can do this homework and then we'll meet back next week and discuss how you did?
Definitely. I
All
think
right.
so.
Good deal.
All right.
I'll see you next week then.
Thanks.